Good evening, guys. Can you all hear me properly? Good evening, guys. Good evening. Can you all hear me properly and see the screen clearly? Just tell me. Yes, thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much. And let's get started with this first chapter of human physiology. We have completed with a great effort. We have completed the chapter in a very detailed manner. So good evening, everybody. Welcome to NEET and Boards 2023 NCERT marking series of BIOPOINT. Stream the world of bio for NEET 2023 and Boards 2023 batch of BIOPOINT. The most scoring chapter of NEET examination, that is the human physiology unit. I hope you all can hear me. Give me hearts on the screen if you all can hear me. Sania, I think you have posted a message to me. I hope you are here and you can hear me. Yes, Omraj, good evening. So get set ready with your NCERTs and let's move on to this session of NCERT highlight series. Those who are watching the session, always reminding, don't forget to hit the like button, do share it with your friends and subscribe the amazing platform for more lectures on biology. So after this, I would be definitely starting with a lecture on plant kingdom will be my next chapter that I would be taking to you. So I'll be showing you certain live plant species which are around me so that you can understand, you can have a clear-cut idea about what do all these things refer to. Okay, so let's get going. This is our Telegram group, t.me/NEET_BIOPOINT, where daily session updates, regular discussion, polls, and quizzes takes place. So guys, this is what I missed to tell you in the lectures. That is the last 8 years, previous year NEET and AIPMT subtopics, how the questions are going to come for your NEET exam. That is, yes, good evening, Bhumi Yadav. Okay, so guys, 27% of the questions have come from our lecture 1, 2, 3, and 4. Just if you are watching our lectures, then you can just mark it out. Lecture 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 4 lectures together makes this 27%. Then the role of digestive enzymes and gastrointestinal hormone. Lecture number 4 and 5. Okay, lecture number 4 and 5 together gives you 55% of the question. And absorption and assimilation will give you 14%, and nutritional and digestive tract disorders also gives you 4%. Guys, give me hearts on the screen if everything is perfectly clear for everybody, because I am not receiving any kind of an active participation from your side right now on the chat box. Yes. Yes, thank you so much. So let's get going. So do the chapter very well. I'll try to complete the whole chapter in this one short session itself. Already we have covered the chapter in the detailed way. So if you have any doubt, just ask me. Okay, I have already highlighted the important points. I would be repeating those points for everybody. Yes. Food is one of the basic requirements for all living organisms. The major components of our food are carbohydrates, proteins, and fat. Okay, carbohydrate, proteins, and fat. These are some of the major components of our food. Vitamins and minerals are also required. Okay, vitamins and minerals are required in small quantities. We already studied. Guys, tell me what do we call those nutrients which are necessary for our body, but they are required only in very minute quantity. What is that type of nutrients referred to as? We just classified carbohydrate, fats, and proteins into one group and vitamins and minerals into another group. What was it? Forgot everyone. Everybody forgot? Yes, those nutrients which are required in smaller quantities, you will call them as a micronutrients, and those nutrients which you need in large quantity, you will call them as macronutrients. Very good, guys. So food provides the energy and organic material for the growth and repair of the tissues. The water we take in also plays an important role in the metabolic process. It also prevents the dehydration of the body. Biomacromolecules in food cannot be utilized by a body in their original form. They have to be broken down and converted into simple substances in the digestive system. The process, this statement is very important. The process of conversion of complex food substances into simple absorbable form, you will call them as digestion. Okay, yes, you will call them as digestion. So guys, we have already told, like carbohydrate, you will be broken down into simpler units of starch and glucose. Proteins will be broken down into amino acids, and fats would be broken down into dash and dash. Tell me. Fats can be broken down. Tell me fast. Smaller units of fats, you will call them as? Absolutely, you will call them as fatty acids and glycerol. Okay, fatty acids and glycerol. Very good. So right now we have to understand that the digestion inside our body is carried out by mechanical and biochemical methods. Mechanical and biochemical methods. Very good. Bhumi, Yamini, Binaya, Sanya. Very good, guys. So keep the Josh in the class. Okay, so guys, that statement is a very important. The digestion of human beings, so human body, is carried out by two steps: mechanical and biochemical method. The digestive system, the human digestive system, is composed of the, oh my god, yes, the human digestive system is composed of alimentary canal and the associated gland. Guys, can you please name me the largest gland in our body? Can you tell me the largest gland inside our body? Is it pancreas? One more time, just think about it, Bhumi. Yes, absolutely. It is the liver. I told and repeatedly I just told in several units. I think Bhumi was absent for that class. Sanya, it is a liver. Okay. So please just take it down in your book. Okay, please just highlight it. Liver was the largest gland. Okay. Got it? Liver is the largest gland inside our body. Pancreas is not the largest gland. Okay. That's a general question. Done? Okay. Got it, Sanya and Bhumi. Your doubt? I hope it's clear. Done? Have you all taken down? Then give me thumbs up on the chat box. Yes. The alimentary canal begins with the anterior opening, that is the mouth. It opens out posteriorly through the anus. So the anterior opening of the alimentary canal is the mouth, and the posterior opening. The anterior means the initial. Okay, the anterior means the top initial or the top opening. You will call them as the mouth, and the posteriorly it opens through the anus. The mouth leads into the buccal cavity. The oral cavity, we have already studied that three different characters are there for the human teeth. That is, the first one is the thecodont, diphyodont, and heterodont. Okay. So if each tooth is embedded in a socket of jawbone, if each tooth is embedded in a jaw, that is in the jawbone, you will call such kind of an arrangement, you will call them as the thecodont. Majority of mammals, including human being, form two sets of teeth during their entire lifetime. That is a set of temporary milk teeth or deciduous teeth, which is replaced by a permanent or adult teeth. Since in the entire lifetime of humans, we have two different types of teeth, you will call them as the diphyodont dentition. Done? Perfecto? Perfecto for everybody? No response? Just tell me whether have you got it or not. Yes. Yes. So one more term we have already discussed. After that, we'll come to this diagram. Okay. That is, in humans, you will find four different types of teeth. Therefore, you will call them as the heterodont type of dentition. That is, humans have incisors, canines, premolars, and molars. Omraj, can you please type your doubt in English so that I can clarify you for that? It would be nice if you just type your doubt. Yami, what's your doubt? So why premolars are bicuspida? Can both of you please make your doubts clear so that I can clarify that as your doubts come over here? Okay. So guys, this is the diagram for the human digestive system. By the time you type your doubt, I'll clarify that. Okay. So guys, this is a diagram in NCERT. So please do study and label each of these parts in detail. Okay. Very important diagram. Okay. Very important diagram. For your board exam, they won't ask you to draw this diagram. Okay. Done? Yes. So arrangement of teeth in each half of the upper and the lower jaw. So arrangement of teeth in each half of the upper and the lower jaw. You will call them as what? You will call them as the dental formula. So guys, just comment me, what is the dental formula of human beings? It's given there. Just repeat that with me. 2123 divided by 2123 is the dental formula. Yes, just tell me once again, everybody, what are the different types, characteristics of teeth on the chat box? What are the different characteristics of teeth? Yes? Got it, everyone? That is thecodont, heterodont, and diphyodont are the three main characteristics of human teeth, and you will call them, that is the arrangement of teeth in each half of the upper and the lower jaw, you will call them as the dental formula. Yes, Omraj have asked me his doubt, that is, what is lophodont teeth? It is a set of molar teeth. Okay, a set of molar teeth which is used for grinding and chewing of food. That is crushing and grinding. Is general function, right? General function of this molars itself is crushing and grinding. So the molar set of molar teeth, you will call them as the lophodont. But we will here as a part, as a whole, we will clarify this as a characteristic of teeth. Okay. Bhumi, these are the characteristics of human teeth. Okay, these are the characteristics of human teeth. Done? Okay. Yamini, actually, I'm not getting your doubts. What's the actual question? Can you, after the class, can you just please contact me on Telegram so that I can ask you what's your actual doubt regarding that? I'm frankly to be speaking, I'm not getting what's your question. Done? No issues. Yes. Okay, thank you so much. The hard chewing surface of the teeth is made up of enamel. It helps in the mastication of food. What do you mean by mastication? The chewing of food. Okay? The chewing of food. The tongue is a freely movable muscular organ. So tongue is a freely movable muscular organ which is attached to the floor of the oral cavity by a muscular structure known as frenulum. Repeated NEET MCQ. Okay, guys, a repeated NEET MCQ question. So the tongue, if this is a tongue, the tongue is attached to the floor of the oral cavity by a structure known as frenulum. Done? Yes. And the upper surface of the tongue has small projections called papillae, some of which bear the taste buds. The oral cavity leads to a short pharynx. What is a pharynx? It is a common passage of food and air. The esophagus and trachea. What is trachea? Trachea is the windpipe. A cartilaginous flap, which is called the epiglottis, prevents the entry of food into the glottis. Repeated NEET question. PYQ. Okay, guys, wherever I am telling it has to be a previous year question, not it down. Okay. So the esophagus is a thin long tube which extends posteriorly, passing through the neck, thorax and the diaphragm, and it leads to a J-shaped structure. Guys, tell me what is actually the next J-shaped structure in the digestive system? Tell me fast. Which is going to be the next J-shaped structure? Which is going to be the next digestive structure after the esophagus? Absolutely, it is the stomach. Stomach is the next structure which we are going to discuss about. Okay, so it's the stomach, a mucus, that is a muscular sphincter muscle, gastroesophageal sphincter, regulates the opening of esophagus into the stomach. Guys, about the sphincter muscles and all, we had told in detail in a detailed lecture itself. So please, those who haven't watched about it, please do watch it. Very good, Binay, Yamini, Sania, Bhumi, Omraj. Very good, guys. Good. So the stomach is located in the upper left portion of the abdominal cavity. It has four major parts. Okay, it has four major parts. Cardiac portion, into which the esophagus opens. A fundic region, that is a dome-shaped portion is there. That is a fundic region. Then body is there, which is the main central part. And a pyloric portion, which opens into the first part of the small intestine. Guys, when I taught you the class, I prepared the slides on the basis of the old edition of NCERT. And then and there itself, I told you, stomach has mainly four main parts. Those who were in the class, remember, I have told you about it. Still remember, I hope. Four parts, I told you about the body. This is as per the new NCERT. Okay, those who doesn't have the new NCERT, please do buy a new edition of NCERT, which would be more useful. Okay, everybody, NEET 2023 batch students, please do buy a new edition of NCERT itself. Those who haven't still bought it. Those who are already having a brothers or sisters or cousins or friends, relatives, anybody's old edition of NCERT, please take down the other points which are still they are not in the NCERT. Okay, done. So, the small intestine is distinguishable into three main regions. That is, first is a C-shaped duodenum. Second is a long coiled middle portion, which is a jejunum, and a highly coiled ileum. The opening of the stomach into the duodenum is guarded by the pyloric sphincter muscle. The ileum opens into the large intestine, and this large intestine consists of three parts, that is the cecum, colon, and rectum. Guys, I told you, when I told you the class itself, I told you this is a previous year question. Cecum is a small blind sac which hosts some symbiotic microorganisms. Okay, there are certain microorganisms. Okay, needs important. Okay, cecum is a small blind sac which hosts symbiotic microorganism. And from the cecum itself, you will have a narrow finger-like tubular projection, which is called the vermiform appendix, which is a vestigial organ. Done? Done, everybody? Yes. The cecum is opening into the colon. The colon is divided into an ascending part, a transverse part, a descending part, and a sigmoid colon. Right? The wall of the alimentary canal. The wall of the alimentary canal is mainly composed of 4 layers. Okay. For your board exam, you will get a question like, explain the histology of human gut. Okay. They will ask you a question like, explain the histology of human gut. Guys, can any one of you just comment me, what do you mean by the exact term histology? I'll wait for 10 seconds. Just give me an answer. We will tell like cytology and all. Like cytology, mycology, biology, zoology. We'll call certain. So what is actually the meaning of the term histology? If you doesn't know, just tell me, no sir, I don't know. Yes, Anya. Okay, sure. You may watch the recorded, and if you have any doubt, you can contact me. Okay. Very good. Absolutely good. Very good, Bhumi. It is the study of tissues. Okay. So guys, histology is a study of tissue. Cytology is a study of cells, right? So in your board exam, they will be asking you, write in detail about the histology of human gut or histology of alimentary canal. That question is similar to the cross section of an alimentary canal or the walls of the alimentary canal. Okay. Then you have to write it in detail. It is serosa, muscularis, submucosa, mucosa. Guys, have you all noted down the timetable or the schedules of the monthly revision test which I have posted in the group? Yes, I don't want even a single person to miss the test. No issue, whatever you have studied, just write with your common sense over there so that only you will be able to understand what is actually what is actually neat, what is actually 11th and 12th standard boards. You will understand then only. Have given you enough time to revise the chapters also. Those who haven't attended the first sessions of Living World and all, please do go to YouTube and watch it. About the NCERT marking, at least you may watch. Okay. Otherwise, you can frankly go into the video session. You can search over there, Living World. You will find a lot and a couple of videos related with NEET 2021, NEET 2020, NEET 2022 videos. You will watch the videos of all these NEET matches over there. One shot revision series will be there. Okay. If you doesn't get time to watch the 3 to 4 lectures which have been taken, then you can directly go and watch the one shot session just as a small revision. Done. Please don't miss the test series. Okay. So serosa is the outermost layer and is made up of thin mesothelium. I told you mesothelium means it is the epithelium of visceral organ. What do you mean by visceral organ? Visceral organ means those internal organ. And with some connective tissue. Muscularis is formed by the smooth muscle usually arranged into an inner circular and an outer longitudinal layer. An oblique muscle layer may be present in some region. Okay, so guys, you have to understand serosa is the outermost layer. Serosa is the outermost layer. Omraj, histology is actually the study of tissues. Okay. Definitely, Bhumi Yadav, I'll provide the one-shot lecture series link of Animal and Plant Kingdom. Definitely. Actually, Plant Kingdom I would be taking next. Living World is actually what we have already taken. I'll provide the one-shots of everything. Done. In the group, I'll provide. Okay. So, guys, serosa is the outermost layer and it is made up of thin mesothelium. Muscularis, you will understand what is its epithelium, connective tissue, smooth muscle, oblique muscle, everything when we deal with the chapter of tissues in detail. Okay. So, muscularis is formed by the smooth muscles. It is arranged into an inner circular and outer longitudinal layer. The submucosal layer is made up of loose connective tissues containing nerves, blood vessel, and lymph vessel. Done. In duodenum also, glands are also present. In duodenum, glands are present. Guys, please bookmark this sentence. This is very important. Previous year question. In duodenum, glands are present in the submucosal layer. Okay. Glands are present in the submucosal layer. That is the third layer. The innermost layer lining the alimentary canal is the mucosa. This mucosa forms the irregular folds like rugae in the stomach, villi in the small intestine. Okay, so guys, this is the esophagus. In the entry of esophagus, you will find the sphincter muscle. That is the gastroesophageal sphincter muscle. This is the dome-shaped portion. We'll call them as the fundus. This is the part where the esophagus opens into. That is the cardiac, body, pyloric. Okay. So guys, just please fastly repeat with me on the chat box. Name the outermost layer of the alimentary canal. I'll give you 10 seconds to answer each of the question. Name the outermost layer of the alimentary canal. Tell me. Everybody unanimously tell me the answer fast. Everybody watching the video, come fast with the answers. Very good. Only one have answered. Everybody answer. Yes, it's serosa. Okay. After serosa, you will have muscularis. It is divided into an inner circular and outer longitudinal muscle. And guys, the duodenal glands are formed from which of the following layers of the alimentary canal? The duodenal glands are formed from which of the following layers of the alimentary canal? Serosa, muscularis, submucosa, mucosa. Which is the answer? Which is the answer? Just tell me. Fast. Exactly. It is given over here. It is the submucosal layer. Guys, it's given over there. It is a submucosal layer. And rugae, structures like rugae, villi, etc. are formed from the mucosal layer. Okay. Done, everybody. This is the diagram. This diagram is very important for your subjective as well as your objective test. Okay, very important. The outermost layer is the serosa. Okay, the outermost layer is the serosa. Next layer is the muscularis. The muscularis itself is composed of inner circular and outer longitudinal muscle. Then you will have the submucosa, then the mucosa, and finally you will have the lumen. Done, everybody. Done with this chapter, done with this table, done with this diagram. Give me hearts on the screen and let's move forward with this super amazing lecture. Come on, everybody. Very important. Draw and study. You don't need to draw and study. Just like your 10th standard, please don't sit and waste your time in drawing and studying. The digestive system and all. Yamini, the only term is to write and study. That's actually, it's the initial starting problem. Actually, by the end of this, that is by next 2 to 3 months, you will be on track and you will be familiarized with this term. That is in your usual conversation also with your friends, you will be using these terms. At that time, you won't feel difficulty. This is the initial starting trouble, but we have to definitely overcome those problems as soon as possible. So guys, this is a transverse section of a gut. So guys, 11th standard exams, 12th standard exams, they won't be asking you to draw digestive system, draw that, draw this. They will be asking you some important diagrams. So this is one of the important diagrams. Yes. back. So villi are supplied with network of capillaries, a large lymph vessel called the lacteal. So it is a previous year question. The lymph vessel inside the villi, you will call them as what? Lacteal. So guys, this finger-like projection is the villi. So this is the capillary inside, that is a lymph vessel inside the villi, you will call them as a lacteal. Mucosal epithelium has goblet cells. Guys, remember goblet cells, Goblet, goblet cells. What is the main function of goblet cells? Goblet cells, the main function is to release the mucus. Okay, the main function of the goblet cells is to secrete mucus that help in the lubrication. Mucosa also forms, one second. Yes, I think this would be better. Mucosa also forms glands in the stomach. Okay, mucosa also forms glands in the stomach, that is a gastric glands. Crypts of Leiberkühn in the intestine, mucosal layer. So all the four parts show modification in different parts of the alimentary canal. So guys, this diagram can be asked for your NEET exam for labeling. Okay, this diagram can be definitely asked for your NEET exam for labeling. So please be careful about it. So guys, this is the villi, this is the lacteal, this is the capillary, artery, crypts of Leiberkühn, vein. It is the sectional view of small intestinal mucosa showing the villi. Okay, the digestive glands are associated with the salivary gland, the liver, and the pancreas. Saliva is produced by three pairs of salivary glands. That is a parotid gland present in the cheek, the submaxillary or submandibular gland in the lower jaw, and the sublingual gland below the tongue. Done, everybody? Is it clear? Guys, just tell me right now on the chat box if it's clear or not. The locations are absolutely very important previous year questions. Okay, parotid present on the cheek, submandibular or sublingual gland, that is submaxillary or submandibular gland present in the lower jaw, and the sublingual gland below the tongue. Calvin, late for the class. I hope you may understand this. Okay, right now from the digestive glands only we are heading towards the important portion of the chapter. Yes, thank you so much. Let's move with the detail. Yes. So guys, just tell me, what do you call the duct from the parotid gland? Duct from the parotid gland, you will call them as what? In the detailed lecture I have told you, right? So tell me. Very good, Yamini. It is the Stenson's duct. It is the Stenson's duct. Next, what is the duct from the submaxillary or submandibular gland? You will call them as? It is or subman. Okay. And finally you will have the sublingual, then you can write as to be what? Ravenous, duct of Ravenous. Calvin, you may take down all these things because these are out of NCERT. Okay? Yes. So, liver is the largest, important. Okay? Liver is being 1.2 to 1.5 kilogram in below the diaphragm and has two lobes. The hepatic lobules are the structural and functional units of liver. Important. Guys, is my audio breaking in between? Right now, is it okay? And can you all hear me properly? Right now, can you all hear me properly? Yes, done. So the hepatic lobules are the structural and functional unit of the liver containing the hepatic cell. So guys, the term hepatic is related with liver. Okay, the term hepatic is related with the liver. Then each lobule of the liver is connected by a thin connective sheath which is referred to as the Glissen's capsule. Important. The bile is the secretion by the hepatic cells and it is stored and concentrated in a thin muscular sac called the gallbladder. Important. The duct from the gallbladder, you will call them as the cystic duct. The duct from the gallbladder, you will call them as the cystic duct. And the duct from the liver, you will call them as the hepatic. That is the duct from the liver, you will call them as the bile duct. Together, the cystic duct and the hepatic, the cystic duct and the bile duct together forms the hepatic duct. Done? That is a common bile duct. Hepatic duct plus the cystic duct together, it will forms the common bile duct. The bile duct and the pancreatic duct open together into the duodenum as common hepatopancreatic duct. So guys, please do write and study. In a detailed lecture, I have given you a table regarding this. So please do focus on the tables, flow charts, tables, etc. Okay. And it is guarded by the sphincter muscle, which is a very important and a repeatedly asked question. Sphincter of Oddi. Common hepatopancreatic duct into the duodenum is guarded by the sphincter of Oddi. Pancreas is a compound gland. That is what you mean by compound gland. It has both exocrine and endocrine part. Exocrine part produces enzymes and endocrine gland produces the hormone. It is situated between the limbs of the C-shaped duodenum. The exocrine portion secretes alkaline pancreatic juice. The endocrine portion secretes hormones, that is insulin and glucagon. Very important. Both of them are very important. And guys, one more important point which you have to study is that the secretion of the liver has no enzymes. Bile is just a secretion. Okay, bile is just a secretion. So the only digestive gland that secretes no enzyme is also liver. Done? Guys, this is very important. Okay, so this is the gallbladder where the bile juice is stored temporarily. This is a duct from the gallbladder. Tell me on the chat box, what do you call the duct from the gallbladder? You will call them as duct from the gallbladder. You will call them as very good. It is the cystic duct. It is a cystic duct. Duct from the liver, you will call them as the hepatic duct. Okay. Duct from the liver, you will call them as a hepatic duct. Hepatic duct plus the cystic duct together, it will form the common bile duct. Okay, common bile duct. Common bile duct. Done. Very important. And about the sphincter of Oddi is also very, very important. Next, we are going to start with the process of digestion. Okay, process of digestion. The process of digestion is accomplished by the mechanical and chemical processes The buccal cavity performs two major functions, that is mastication of food and facilitation of swallowing. The teeth and the tongue, with the help of saliva, masticate and mixes up the food thoroughly. Mucus in the saliva helps in lubricating and adhering the masticated foods into our bolus. So guys, the food particle inside the buccal cavity, you will call them as the bolus. The food particle entering the stomach, you will call them as the chyme. And the food particle entering the small intestine, you will call them as the chyle. Small intestine, buccal cavity, stomach. Okay, the bolus is then conveyed into the pharynx by the process of deglutition or swallowing. Deglutition or swallowing. And it is passed on by a wave-like rhythmic contraction. Successive waves of muscular contraction, you will call them as peristalsis. And the saliva secreted into the oral cavity contains certain electrolytes such as sodium, potassium, bicarbonates, etc. and the enzyme salivary amylase and lysozyme. Guys, what do you mean by lysozyme? What do you mean by lysozyme? Tell me. Let me check who is going to answer that first. What do you mean by lysozyme? I told you lysozyme is a very good, Calvin. It is an antibacterial enzyme present in saliva. Bhumi, please take it down. It is an antibacterial enzyme. Antibacterial enzyme. Done? So the chemical process of digestion is initiated in the oral cavity by the hydrolytic action of carbohydrate splitting enzyme. So carbohydrate splitting enzyme. So carbohydrate digestion begins in the buccal cavity itself. About 30% of the starch, very important previous year question. About 30% of the carbohydrate or starch is hydrolyzed here, and the enzyme pH is 6.8 into a disaccharide maltose. Lysozyme is present in saliva as an antibacterial agent that prevents infection. So guys, this is very important. Okay, this conversion is a previous year question. Starch with the help of the enzyme salivary amylase at a pH of 6.8 converts starch into maltose. Guys, can you tell me what was the other term for salivary amylase? Very good. It is the tannin. Okay, it is the tannin. Done. The mucosa of the stomach has the gastric glands. Gastric glands have three major types of cell. That is, first one is the mucous neck cell, which secrete mucus. Peptic cells or chief cells, proenzyme, pepsinogen. Proenzyme means inactive. Parietal or oxygenatic cells secrete HCl and intrinsic factor. That is essential for the absorption of vitamin B12. I told you it is Cas cells. Cas cells intrinsic factor. Done. Hearts on the screen. Let's move forward. We have a bit more ahead to carry out and finish. Yes, thank you so much. What about 2023 NEET students? What about you guys? Yamini, Om Raj, Bhumi. Bhumi, is it clear? I think since you missed this lecture, yes. It is Cas cells intrinsic factor. It is actually the name of the factor which is secreted by, it is actually a structure or a factor which is secreted by the parietal or oxygenatic cells of the stomach that secrete. Okay, that secrete HCl and intrinsic factor. So that intrinsic factor's name is Cassell's intrinsic factor, and what is its function? It is a factor which helps in the absorption of the vitamin B12 in our body. Done. So the stomach stores food. The stomach stores food for 4 to 5 hours. Very important, previous year NEET MCQ. The food mixes thoroughly with the acidic, oh my god. The food mixes thoroughly with the acidic gastric juice and it forms the component which is known as the chyme. The proenzyme pepsinogen on exposure to hydrochloric acid gets converted into active enzyme pepsin, the proteolytic enzyme in the stomach. So guys, pepsinogen is converted into pepsin by the action of HCl. Very, very important. Okay, so pepsin converts protein into proteases and peptones. The mucus and bicarbonates present in the gastric juice play an important role in lubrication and protection of the epithelium. Hydrochloric acid provides an acidic pH that is 1.8. The pH of stomach is 1.8. And renin is a proteolytic enzyme found in the gastric juice of infants which help in the digestion of milk protein. Small amounts of lipases are also secreted by the gastric glands. So guys, the enzyme which helps in the digestion of proteins in adults, it's pepsin, which is secreted in the form of pepsinogen, and in case of infants, that is milk feeding babies, it is renin. Yes, Calvin. Guys, proteolytic enzyme. What do you mean by lytic? Lytic means breaking down. So proteolytic means those enzymes which helps in the process of protein breakdown. Okay. So proteolytic enzyme means those enzymes which helps in the digestion of proteins by breaking down them into simple molecules. Done? Done? Calvin, is it clear? Others, is it clear? Oh my god, no response. What happened? Yes. Pepsinogen is, Calvin, pepsinogen is actually the inactive form of pepsin. Pepsinogen cannot do any of its function because it itself is inactive. Understood? The pepsinogen itself is an inactive one, so it have to be converted into the active form. Done? Yes. Oh my god. Check. From 17 to 32 we have. Yes. Various type of movement are generated by the muscularis layer of the small intestine, which give a thorough mixing up of the food. The bile, pancreatic juice, and the intestinal juice are the secretions released into the small intestine. So the small intestine or the duodenum is receiving secretions from the liver, that is a bile, from the pancreas, bile juice, and the intestinal juice itself. Pancreatic juice and bile juice are released through the hepatopancreatic duct. Previous year question. Pancreatic juice and bile are released through the hepatopancreatic duct. The pancreatic juice contains inactive enzymes such as trypsinogen, chymotrypsinogen, procarboxypeptidase, amylase, lipase, nuclease, etc. Guys, this composition is very important. Just take down this particular sentence and by heart it in your mind. The components of pancreatic juice are trypsinogen, chymotrypsinogen, procarboxypeptidase, amylase, lipase, nuclease. They will be asking you a question like, which of the following component is absent in pancreatic juice? That is a previous year question, NEET 2019. Trypsinogen is activated by an enzyme known as enterokinase. Okay, trypsinogen is activated by an enzyme called enterokinase, which is secreted by the intestinal mucosa into active trypsin. And this trypsin is actually converting all other enzymes, that is chymotrypsinogen to chymotrypsin, procarboxypeptidates into carboxypeptidates. All those active conversions are made by the enzyme trypsin. The bile is released into the duodenum, contains bile pigments, that is a bilirubin and biliverdin, bile salt, cholesterol, phospholipids, but it has no enzymes. Bile helps in the emulsification of fat, that is a breaking down of fats. Bile also activate lipases. Done. Done, everybody. Everybody, is it clear? The intestinal mucosa have a goblet cells. I have already mentioned what is the function of goblet cells. The function of goblet cells is to release the mucus. Okay. This secretion of the brush bordered cells along with the secretion of the goblet cells constitutes intestinal juice. So the fluid or the secretion of the intestine, you will call them as the succus entericus. Guys, succus entericus or the intestinal fluid. Another term which you have studied right now is all about the enterokinase. What was enterokinase? That helps in the conversion of trypsinogen. That helps in the conversion of trypsinogen to trypsin. Done? So the juice contain a variety of enzymes like disaccharidases, that is the maltase, dipeptidases, lipases, nucleosidases, etc. The mucus along with the bicarbonate from the pancreas protects the intestinal mucosa from the acid as well as provide an alkaline medium, that is a pH 7.8 in the intestine. Submucosal gland, that is a Brunner's gland, also help for this thing. Yes. So guys, 1 minute. Let me drink some water. Yes. Tell me, is it clear or not? Yes. Thank you so much. And let's move forward. So guys, proteins, peptones, proteases, they are all partially hydrolyzed proteins. Okay. So they are present in the chyme reaching the intestine and are acted upon by the proteolytic enzymes of pancreatic juice. Trypsin, chymotrypsin, carboxypeptidase. So this protein, peptones and proteases, they are all converted into dipeptides. Carbohydrates, that is a polysaccharide starch, would be converted into disaccharide by the pancreatic amylase. The fats are broken down by lipases into disaccharides and further into monosaccharides. Nucleases in the pancreatic juice act on nucleic acid to form nucleotides and nucleotides. Okay, nucleotides and nucleosides. That is nucleic acid, nucleases. Done? Done, everybody. And thus we will observe the simple absorbable form of all the food materials, which is ready for absorption. Everybody, is it clear? Everybody, Omraj, Calvin, Binaya, is it clear? Yamini, I am not receiving any messages of Yamini for a couple of time. Is there any doubt that you left? So guys, this is a table which you have to get it by hearted. This is very important and very easy also. Dipeptides, dipeptidase, maltose, maltase, lactose. Okay, lactose, lactase, sucrose, sucrase, nucleotides, nucleotidases, nucleoside, nucleosidases, glycerides, lipases. Done? Done, everybody? So now all the food items present in our food have been reduced into the symbol forms. So there is no significant digestion occurring in the large intestine, but function of large intestine is absorption of some water, minerals, and certain drugs. Secretion of mucus, which helps in adhering the waste materials, is a function of large intestine. The undigested, unabsorbed substances called the fecus enter into the cecum of the large intestine through the ileocecal valve, which prevents the backflow of the fecal matter. It is temporarily stored in the rectum till defecation. The activities of the gastrointestinal tract are under neural and hormonal control for proper coordination of different parts of the body. Gastric and intestinal secretion are stimulated by the neural signal. They are under the control of our brain or nervous system. The muscular activities are also moderated by neural mechanism. Hormonal control of digestion is carried out by local hormone produced by the gastric and the intestinal mucosal layer. Guys, this is actually something which is given in our NCERT, but very rarely only. In the old edition of NCERT, it won't be there. Calvin, please tell me whether it is there in your NCERT or not. I think rest of them have the new NCERT itself. Just check it and find and tell me. Yes, it's there. Then you have to study that. That is calorific value of protein. Just by heart the values like this. The calorific value of carbohydrate is 4.1 kilocalorie per gram. For protein, it is 5.65 kilocalorie per gram. For fat, it is 9.45 kilocalorie per gram. That's enough and more. Okay, just by heart these value, calorific value. We might have heard about there are this much of calories in rice, this much of calories in fish. Yes, that's all about the calorific value. It's not in detail. It's not have been asked for any exams, but if it's asked, we must have to write it down. Next is the absorption of digested food. Absorption is the process by which the end product of digestion passes through the intestinal mucosa into the blood or the lymph. It can be an active, it can be passive, or it can be facilitated transport mechanism. Very important, monosaccharides like glucose, amino acid, and some electrolytes and chloride ions are generally absorbed by the process of simple diffusion. Glucose, amino acid are absorbed with the help of carrier protein, that is facilitated transport. Transport of water depends upon the osmotic gradient. Amino acid, monosaccharide, glucose, etc. takes place by the active transport. Fatty acids and glycerols are insoluble, so they are not directly absorbed into the blood. They are converted into small substances like micelle, chylomicron. Got it, everybody? Since we have, there is nothing much to explain. This is an NCERT highlight series. We have already highlighted the NCERT or mark the NCERT important points. That's why going a bit faster to complete this as a one-shot class itself. Okay. Okay. So if you have any doubt, you are free to ask to me. Okay, I'm ready to explain that. So they are first incorporated into small droplets called micelle, which move into the intestinal mucosa. And when these micelle are coated with fat globules, you will call them as a chylomicron. If this is the micelle, if they are coated with fat globules, you will call them as what? Chylomicron. Then they are transported into the lymph vessels or lacteal. Clear? So guys, this is an important table, the summary of absorption. So inside the mouth, you will have certain drugs. In stomach, absorption of water, simple sugars, alcohol, etc. Small intestine is the principal organ of absorption of nutrients, and large intestine, absorption of water, some minerals and drugs. takes place in the large intestine. The absorbed substances finally reaches the tissues where they are utilized. The process of utilization of all the nutrients, you will call them as assimilation. And the process of removal of the undigested waste material, you will call them as egestion. You will call them as ejection or defecation. Next is a very, very important unit, that is a disorders of digestive system. Even though the percentage of questions for the past 8 years is 4, you will definitely get a question. So bacterial disease may be there, viral diseases may be there. First of all, we are going to discuss about the jaundice. It is a disease of the liver. The skin and the eyes turn yellow due to the deposition of bile pigment. Next is a vomiting. It is a egestion of stomach contents through the stomach. This reflex action is controlled by the vomit center in the medulla. A feeling of nausea precedes the vomiting. That is, what do you mean by nausea? Before you vomit, you may have certain kind of a tendency that I'm going to vomit right now. Yes, that particular tendency before vomiting, you will call them as the nausea. Next is the diarrhea, means it is the abnormal frequency of bowel movement and increased liquidity in the fecal discharge because of the reduction in the absorption of food, absorption of water mainly. In constipation, bowel movements occur irregularly, and finally indigestion. This is actually several years repeated question. That is a feeling of fullness. It may be due to an inadequate enzyme secretion inside our body, anxiety, food poisoning, overeating, spicy food. So, you might have also seen or experienced, like, even if your mother continuously for 1 week, your mother have been preparing some dishes with chicken, and for the next second week also when she started preparing with that, you will feel like some kind of a distrust towards that. You will be telling your mom, like, I don't want chicken this day because I don't like it. I'm feeling some kind of distrust with that. So that feeling of fullness, you will call them as indigestion. Indigestion may not occur due to proper lack of digestion. Not only because of that, it might be due to anxiety. Okay, so that is all about the indigestion. So next 3 slides, that is a protein energy malnutrition. Okay, 2 more slides are there. Anyway, I have not taken this in detail, but I'll be completing it over here. Okay, so protein energy malnutrition, referred to as PEM, according to the new NCERT. Dietary deficiency of proteins and total food calories are widespread in many countries. You might have seen in certain images and all, certain children from Somalia and all, their skeleton is actually very much prominent because of the lack of protein-rich food, lack of nutrient-rich food, right? You might have seen in certain movies and even, right? Ethiopia, Bangladesh, all those people. So, that is protein energy malnutrition in infants and children to produce marasmus and kwashiorkor. In infants, it will lead to marasmus. In children, it will lead to kwashiorkor. Marasmus is produced due to the deficiency of proteins and calories. It is found in infants less than a year in age. That is, those infants which are less than 1 year, you will find the disorder which is referred to as the marasmus. It is a protein energy malnutrition which is caused due to poor nutrition in both proteins and calories. Okay, and one more important thing which you can tell is, like, the skeleton becomes so prominent. That is actually one of the symptoms of marasmus. Next is a kwashiorkor. It is a protein energy malnutrition unaccompanied by calorific deficiency. So there is no caloric deficiency in case of this kwashiorkor. It occurs in children with more than 1 year. Okay, done everybody? Is it clear? Give me hearts on the screen with full josh in the class. And we have come to the end of the first chapter of human physiology, that is digestion and absorption. Next chapter would be from botany. I took a zoology chapter right now. Next, my chapter would be from botany, that is a plant kingdom would be my next chapter. After plant kingdom, after we discuss about the angiosperms, that is a flowering plants, we would be directly moving on to the morphology part of flowering plants, where I would be showing you live specimens or clarified images at least to make the session more amazing and interesting for everybody. So thank you guys. Bye-bye. See you in the next class. Don't forget to hit the like button, do share it with your friends, and subscribe the amazing platform for more updates and lectures on biology NEET. So bye-bye.